What in the world is going on with the Shanquella Robinson case? We are broaching a year since the mysterious death of Shanquella Robinson, and I haven't done an update on the case for quite a while either. Well, the reason is simple. It's been relatively quiet. Things have seemingly slowed in the press, but the family and their legal team continue to fight for justice, and their quest has taken them on a journey that extends from their local community to the highest levels of government. Today, I want to bring you up to speed on the case. We're going to get into it, but first be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on updates to this story, trending topics, and so much more. Now let's get into it. If you haven't heard of this story, Shanquella Robinson was a beautiful, bright young entrepreneur who traveled to Mexico on October 28, 2022, and was found dead in her hotel room less than 24 hours after her arrival. Her travel mates said that she had had too much to drink, but then later a video surfaced showing Shanquella naked, being brutally assaulted by one of her travel mates while the others filmed and shouted from the sidelines as if they were attending a boxing match. Immediately following the trip, the travel mates began covering up what happened. They denied there ever was a fight and insisted Shanquella's death was due to her overindulgence of alcohol and not the assault where she was tossed from one side of the room to the other by her head and neck by one of her travel mates. The Mexican and U.S. governments botched the investigation to the point of disgrace and have been less than transparent with the family about the details. Mexico allowed the culprits to escape their country without answering for Shanquella's mysterious death, and the perpetrators have taken safe harbor here in the United States ever since. Both governments did autopsies. Neither was ideal, and you guessed it, they don't agree. One autopsy says she died from internal decapitation, and the other says it was swelling on the brain. The FBI has determined that the cause of death discrepancy is reason enough to not pursue charges in the case. So here we are, broaching a full year later, and Shanquella has gotten no justice, none. Let's start with the article from MSN titled, "Not Giving Up, Shanquella Robinson's Family Urges White House Officials to Push Forward with Extradition Process of American Suspect." This piece highlights the staunch determination of Shanquella's family to see justice served. It says, the family's attorney, Sue Robinson, told RadarOnline.com that Shanquella's family remains determined to seek justice after she died during a trip to Mexico last October, and that they are urging White House officials to act. She says, and I quote, "Currently, actively, and since April, we have been requesting the FBI's documents because the case is closed." Sue also cites how it contradicts the response her family received during a follow-up inquiry. It goes on, "We have been advised in writing that they cannot release the documents because the case is actively being investigated." So it begs the question, have they made their final determination to not pursue charges and thus are closing the case, or are they simply leaving the case open as a tactic for delaying release of the documents? This is why, understandably so, the family feels that there is a lack of transparency. The FBI said they found no evidence to support filing federal charges in Shanquella's death, yet they haven't closed the case. In April of this year, the FBI released a statement saying, based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. attorneys' offices, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. Needless to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, this broke the hearts of everyone who desired justice on Shanquella's behalf. Shanquella's mother, Salamandra Robinson, has been leading the charge. She has repeatedly expressed her family's deep frustration and commitment to not giving up until they get justice for Shanquella. She wants the person named on the Mexican warrant to be extradited and brought to justice. Since the FBI released their statement back in April, the family has wanted the FBI to get out of the way of the process so that a higher level of diplomatic intervention could be had. The family wants to view the FBI's investigative file, but they have been met with pushback as the FBI contends that the investigation is still open. Due to the FBI's response, the family's relentless pursuit of justice has now extended to the highest levels of government. Their sights are focused on the White House. They want the Biden administration to act. Attorney Robinson says, "I think the issue that the family has chosen at this time to focus on is Biden administration." She goes on to directly address Secretary of State Blinken by saying, "Can you please send somebody down to the fax machine? Open the email, however you get your information from Mexico. Open it up, have it read by the other secretary who takes care of the Western Hemisphere, and start the extradition process." Some months ago, Shanquella's family and legal team were discussing exhumation of Shanquella's body. However, amid this traumatic nightmare, the family faced yet another difficult decision. As revealed in the MSN article titled, "Shanquella Robinson's family has no plans to exhume her body as of right now. Not interested in third autopsy." Attorney Robinson explains why they have momentarily paused this effort in her exclusive statements to Radar Online. She said, "As of right now, a decision has not been made to do a third autopsy. I don't think a third autopsy is necessary for the exact reason I'm saying. It'll still be more compromised than the second one." Shanquella's father, Bernard Robinson, has also expressed sentiments that they've been through enough pain and suffering. He simply wants justice and closure. The decision not to exhume Shanquella's body reflects the family's determination to seek justice through other means and highlights their commitment to honor her memory without causing additional harm. The family's journey has undoubtedly been an uphill one. Attorney Robinson makes it clear that the family is not getting any support from local, state, or federal government officials. She tells Radar Online, "The second issue we are currently facing is the political process, that is, getting a high level of diplomatic intervention. The family has no support from local representatives, no support from state senators, nothing other than us," which is something. I'm talking about they have local state representatives, Congress members, that their purpose is to serve as the liaison for their constituents. They aren't doing one single thing. This is so sad. Now, for the trolling that has been going on in these streets. In addition to their battle for justice, the Robinson family has raised concerns about a Tubi series. According to an article from The Root, the family believes the series exploits the tragic death of Shanquella Robinson. The article reads, Tubi and their series Street Legal are under pressure from the family of Shanquella Robinson to stop allegedly using her death for views. A cease and desist letter was served to the crime show, stating that Robinson's likeness was used, but her family and those who oversee her estate never gave their permission to do so. Now, I had to take a look at this only so that I can report on it. And it's very clear that the episode uses the narrative directly from this case, but they have slightly altered the names of the characters. It is definitely in poor taste. The cease and desist letter states, "We must express our profound dismay at the distressing misrepresentation and unauthorized use of Shanquella's identity and the events surrounding her tragic passing." In addition, the letter explains that the network covertly exploited Robinson and their actions are infringing upon the family's legal rights to publicity. Yeah, I agree. It is covert. They used the direct storyline, but they changed the names slightly. The family wants the episode removed from Tubi, and they want a public apology issued, and they also want to be compensated for the suffering caused by the harmful depiction. The family is distressed by what they perceive as the show's sensationalization of Shanquella's story for entertainment purposes. They have expressed their concerns, emphasizing the need for respect and sensitivity when portraying real-life tragedies in the media. In addition to Tubi's unsavory portrayal of the situation, the family is also facing internet trolls who are determined to victim shame Shanquella, tarnish her story, and damage her family's reputation. Sue-Ann said, "The third thing is there are a lot of people online making up stories about Shanquella and her family and her mom and her sister, what they do, and what the case is really about. And it's not based anywhere in fact at all." I'm really happy that they are addressing this issue. It has been rampant for quite a long time. Their concerns regarding the Tubi series and finally speaking out about internet trolls shows their commitment to preserving the dignity of Shanquella's memory, and it also highlights the challenges that they face in their pursuit for justice. This journey has had us on an emotional roller coaster ride for nearly a year now. We've witnessed the pain and the determination of Shanquella's family despite being told so many untruths and having to fight for even a modicum of cooperation. Now we are watching them while they have to make the very difficult decision to not exhume her body and continue their appeal to government officials. And let's not forget, they are doing all of this while fending off internet trolls. Their pursuit for justice serves as a powerful reminder that in the face of adversity, the search for truth and accountability is a cause worth fighting for. If you want to join in the fight for justice for Shanquella, you can contact the Secretary of State for North Carolina, Elaine F. Marshall. Her email address is emarshall@sosnc.gov. I'll place the email in the description box below. Justice for Shanquella.